You're good? Good evening. Evening, everyone. We're going to open the Inlands, Wetlands, and Watercourse Commission for the town of Trumbull for May 5th, 2026. I will ask our clerk to do a roll call if she would.
Richard Gerard,
Present.
John Loria,
Here.
Carmine DeFeo,
Here.
Rich Deacon,
Present.
David Verespi,
Present.
Greg Cernica,
Present.
Bob Ferrigno,
Present.
town staff Tatiana Solovey,
Here.
John Mayer,
Here.
Attorney Cordone.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. All right, as is our custom, I'm going to our town attorney to give us the legal aspect of doing a Zoom meeting, if you would, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As is the practice of this commission, this meeting is being conducted virtually over the internet and telephone. Tonight's agenda and supporting application materials were posted on the town website in advance of tonight's meeting. I do not believe we do have two public hearings tonight that are going to be continued, but I do not believe we have any other public hearings, so there won't be public comment on other items tonight. And the meeting is recorded, and I'd kindly ask the members of the commission to make sure they're acknowledged by the chair prior to speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. All right, we're going to go to old business continuation of public hearings. It's for application 25-10 and 25-11. It's Amelia Ferry. I'm going to ask Attorney Cordone to give us a quick reason for the continuance.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to briefly summarize, town staff did request that the applicant grant an extension of the public hearing until our next meeting. That is because the two licensed environmental professionals, the two LEPs, the one representing the town and the one representing the applicant, were able to meet with the Department of Environmental Protection, DEEP, and get further guidance. So the town is working on a reply to that to submit to the applicant, and we need additional time to present that for next month's meeting. So I'd ask the commission to give a motion to continue application 25-10 and 25-11 to our June meeting.
All right, Greg.
Yep, I make a motion for to continue applications 25-10 and 25-11, Amelia Ferry for Sycamore lot 321 and I forgot what the other
Sycamore. It's 6 Sycamore.
Sycamore to the June 2nd wetlands meeting.
Second.
Second.
Bob, seconded. All in favor?
Abstain.
Against.
Okay, Rich abstained. Who else abstained?
John abstains.
John, okay, so we have
not
three.
part of this.
I mean, all right, and John is abstaining because he hasn't been here for the Sycamore.
I
Thank
missed
you,
the
John.
very first meeting 1 year ago. I went to Jazz Fest. This is still going on, just for your reminder
know.
now. It's 1
And-
year.
I know.
And just to clarify, I'm
Okay.
against, not abstain.
All right. In that case, then we are going to go to new business application 26-11. Madison Properties LLC, permit approval to construct an 8,500 square foot mixed use building and its appurtenances, including construction of portion of building, driveway, parking, sidewalks, retaining walls, drainage, underground utilities, and landscaping within a regulated area at 855 and 851 White Plains Road. Tatiana, do you know who they have speaking for them?
I just promoted someone who raised their hand, but I do not see their engineer yet.
I think I'm on now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Ian Eller. I am an engineer with J. Edwards and Associates. We are representing this project. If I can, I would like to share my screen just to be able to give you a quick overview of the project by way of the submission set.
Go for it.
There we go. All right, if you can all see that, this is the title sheet. This project is, as stated, is a mixed use with 5 units. Those units are retail on the first floor and they are residential on the second floor. As far as it relates to to wetlands, what we have here is there's a stream that enters an existing 48-inch pipe that leads to the town drainage. And so the location of that stream defines our regulated area. That regulated area, we are conducting, we're hoping to build the building, drive access, parking area, various other things. The only structures that we are building close to the actual wetlands themselves are the parking lot and then the wall that will support the grading necessary for that parking lot. I'm sorry, just looking at my notes a little bit here. In addition, because obviously we're going to be developing the property beyond what it is already used for, we will be taking down some trees. But otherwise, it is a pretty typical mixed-use development. We have obviously dealt with the drainage issues and developed the system by which we will be taking care of that water. We're not going to be putting any extra water into that stream for sure. And in addition to that, we do have a landscape plan that once we're done, we'll be supporting the area with plantings. We are not the landscape architects, so I don't know if Mike is around, but for this hearing, but we do have a plan to beautify and protect by way of plantings. I am happy to answer any questions, but as I understand it, we're mostly here to talk about acceptance of this application, but I can help if I can.
Tatiana, do you have any comments? Or John?
Yeah, I have a couple of quick notes. So I think your application states at 855 and 851 White Plains Road. If you could correct the address, please, so there is no confusion. I believe it's 861, correct?
61, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I believe your stockpile is proposed right against the watercourse. So is it possible to find an alternate location for that during construction?
I will definitely bring that up. Probably, I imagine that the way these things generally go is that I was a construction surveyor for years before I became an engineer. We can probably shift that thing as we go, but most of the property is covered by either the building or the access, and that's probably why they put it there when they did the initial design. But I will make a note, and we will see what we can do about that.
Okay. And also you mentioned it's a mixed use proposal. Are any food establishments proposed on the first floor?
I do not know. I can say that our design does not indicate any
Bog?
grease traps or anything that I can see, and therefore I don't think so. I was not the design engineer on this, unfortunately. He is busy tonight, so I had to sort of jump in. But as far as I know, there are not. But we can clarify that during the regular meeting, the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any questions from the commission?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of coverage here. Do you have a spot for snow? Because it looks like you have a lot of parking lot and an access road coming in there. Where's the snow go in the winter?
I don't know off the top of my head, just to be honest with you. I'll make a note for us to cover it when we do our full presentation.
Okay, because I'm not even sure what are your neighboring properties like. We'll see that, I guess, when we do a walkthrough.
Through the chair, I think I saw a snow storage indicated in the middle island somewhere.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be big enough for all
Yeah.
those parking spots,
Right.
plus the driveway and everything.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was just looking really fast to see if I could see it, but I don't see it indicated right away. But we'll definitely look into it and make sure that we can tell you when we do our full presentation.
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Carmine.
my first item is a technicality. Again, on the application, the applicant did not authorize Jay Edwards to be their representative.
Okay,
Uh,
that is not something I was aware of. That's an item that that's usually a form, a simple
Yes,
form
it's
that
item
is signed
four, it's
by
item
the,
four
by
in
the,
section 1 on the application.
okay.
Another question, you mentioned some trees to come down. How many trees would be coming down?
So this is the demo plan. All the trees in red will be being removed. But as I noted,
Oh.
we'll be replanting as well. But these are, to answer your question specifically, these are the trees that will be being removed.
Okay,
And they have the
The
truck
total is,
sizes.
if you look on the existing conditions plan, the tree sizes are indicated.
All right.
okay, the other question I have is, again, on the application, material to be deposited and excavated, you have both checked and you have the area and the volume. Is that the net or what are those figures?
I can't answer that off the top of my head. Usually we provide the total of each, but I'm not looking at the application right at this second myself.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see the total of each.
Yep, I will make a note. And again, that'll be a thing that I will make sure that we are ready for on the actual presentation.
Okay, anyone else from the commission?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Bob.
could we have those trees marked at the time we do the site visit?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Could we have the trees marked that you were going to remove at the site visit?
I
What he's
do
saying is
not
we'll
know
be
whether
doing
we've been out there and prepped that. I can't say. I can check with my surveyor. He's not here right now. I'm not sure whether or not that is done.
Okay, can we have that done before the site visit?
Normally, we schedule a walk after this, correct?
Yes, but we
After
are.
the what?
We schedule a walk once you've accepted the application, and we can make sure that that's done. I was just clarifying.
While it's up there, in addition to marking the trees, John, what do you
Through the
want to
chair.
see as far
Can we
as
put the main plan
stakes?
back up? Please put the main plan back up so we can see what are the, so we have these 5 units.
That's the main plan. There's also a utilities plan, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, but we probably want to know where the corners of the 5 units are.
Mhm.
So can we do that in 4 stakes? I'm not quite sure.
Sure. When we prepare a walk, usually what we do is we give you the broad corners of the buildings, broad corners of the parking areas, just so you can see the extent. Sometimes, if requested, we can do the limits of disturbance. That's fairly
Okay.
typical.
Sometimes not all the commissioners make the walk on the same day. So if you go out by yourself, you'd like to see where these reference points are. So if somebody goes and takes a look at the property on their own and they're not on the walk, they know where those points are.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sure. The easiest way to do that is we can provide you with a sheet of what we staked for the walk, and then that way anybody that goes out there will have a sort of a way to orient themselves.
Just a clarification, what
need-
he's asking for stakes in the ground. Can that be done? Not a sheet.
Yes, that is a thing that we usually do.
All right.
Can we blow up on this plan here so I can read it a little bit better?
Yeah.
There we go. So why not put a stake in the corner where Unit 1 is? I don't know which way is north and south right now, but let's say on the top and on the bottom of that side. And then on Unit 5, do the same thing on the right side of the map. Put 2 more stakes in there. Label the stakes, Unit 1 north, Unit 1 south, or whatever is appropriate.
Yep, that is certainly something.
Now we have a water detention system on this plan here.
Yes, if we go to the utilities plan, the detention system is located underneath the parking lot in this area here.
Okay, so we'd like to have a 4 corners on where the water detention system would be.
Okay.
How does the rest of the commissioners feel? Is that sufficient, or anyone like to see anything else?
I think you covered it there, John.
Yeah, I
Bob,
think
I
that gives
saw-
us a good reference if you know what I mean. If you walked on site and you knew where those points are as agreed upon, I think.
So
someone could navigate around.
just for my clarity, what you're asking to see is basically the 4 main corners of the building, the 4 corners of the underground detention, and then the trees that are to be removed marked, and that's the extent of it.
Yes, that was Bob Ferrigno's request on the trees, but that's also something we normally request as well.
Okay, I've got a note, and we'll definitely do that for the walk.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for Mr. Eller?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yes, one question to John or Tatiana. Have they reviewed the water retention system? Are they happy with that, or are we satisfied with that?
Yep, we have the comment letter that will be sent into the applicant, or I'm not sure if John sent it already, but it's ready to go. No major comments.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, any
Oh, I have
other,
one more additional thing I should have
Go
pointed
ahead.
out. Where are the wetlands, and are they flagged?
So as I understand it, as it was explained to me earlier today, the wetlands, what are considered the wetlands for this project's purpose is this stream that is here. Hold on, let me move up to the existing conditions that might. Oh, this one's got the
So
right.
are there wetland flags on that stream right now?
Honestly, I don't see any, and the way that conversation went today indicates to me that I don't think it is flagged. I think that there was a conversation with the wetlands office, and the stream was considered the wetlands limit for this purpose. I can definitely clarify, but like I said, I had a conversation with the actual design engineer today, and he suggested that there had been some sort of discussions regarding this project with wetlands, the office, not obviously you guys, and the stream was what was of concern.
Okay, so I take it's all piped from White Plains Road to some head wall there?
So the stream runs through this adjacent property, to a head wall that exists on our property into a 48-inch pipe that leads directly to the town sewer system over here. And then does its thing. So it runs underneath the property. We're not proposing any changes to that pipe or any work on that pipe at all. The only thing we are saying is that what we're going to do is here, we are going to, in order to support the grading necessary for the parking lot, we're going to extend this existing head wall in order to protect that stream there.
Okay, thank you. Do we want
Alright.
that marked as well? Or everyone can find the head wall?
Yeah, yeah, the
Good.
end of the
Okay.
new wall would be nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Carmine.
I noticed there's a second detention system. Can you explain what goes into each one?
Again, I am not the design engineer and we weren't necessarily prepared to do the full extent, but we do have the roof drains from the building coming in. You can see them here. Into the detention system, and then there is probably my guess is that sorry, this system of catch basins and manholes enters into a water quality system, goes in, retains, and then the overflow is to this system here. But again, this is me being an engineer and knowing what I'm looking at, but I did not design it myself.
The other smaller one towards the top of the page, what, do
Is
you
that
have any information on
anti-tracking?
that one?
Only what it states, right? Similarly, it is fed by this catch basin in this corner, right? So the grading leads the water to there. You have a water quality unit, goes into the detention, and then the overflow is out into the street. The high point you can see is here. That means all of this water flows into that. Everything else comes this way down to this catch basin throughout this system into the larger system.
All right, you good, Carmine?
Yes.
All right. Any other comments, questions from the commission? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next application. We're good? Thank you, Mr. Eller. We'll see you next month.
You're welcome. You'll actually see me in 1 minute because I'm also for the next application.
All right. Application 26-12, Bernadine Cavaziello. It's a permit approval to construct a single-family dwelling and its appurtenances, including storm detention gallery system, septic system, footing drain outlet, grading, and a builder barrier within a regulated area at 5044 Madison Avenue.
And again, just for the record, my name is Ian Eller. I'm an engineer with J. Edwards and Associates, and we are representing this project. This one is just a single family home, but it is on a piece that is significantly wet. I'm bringing this up. This is an old plan. This is from the original subdivision that defined this lot in 1989. This has been an approved building lot since then. And including, like, for all that means paying taxes on it and everything else, right? They are proposing to build, this is the existing conditions plan. One thing of note, just for clarity, is that we will be accessing our lot by this approved existing shared driveway that was done during the original subdivision. This is our design plan. You can see that most of this lower part of the lot is wet. These are the wetlands that we're talking about. I'll zoom in a little bit for the development. As is typical and within the regulations, we are building a house and a septic system and a drainage system and doing some grading. As you can see, the house we've edged out of the regulated area, but the septic system is in the regulated area. A portion of the drainage system is in the regulated area, and there is a bit of grading in the area, as you can see. And like I said, the driveway connects to that existing driveway up there outside of the regulated area. We do, and as previously, this project does include a planting plan by Environmental Land Solutions. Specifically, I'm not entirely sure why we're doing this. I assume that it's been based on discussions with the Wetlands Office again. There's some mitigation happening here in this lower part away from our construction. I wish I could answer questions about that, but I honestly do not know what the reasoning behind that is. I could only assume that it was based on conversations. We'll have to get more clarity on that, or hopefully, as my preference would be, would have the actual landscape architect there for the main meeting on this project. Again, I'm happy to answer questions that I can answer. This one's pretty straightforward. There is some work done in the upland area, but we are staying pretty well away from the wetlands. And again, this is a lot that's been sitting there for quite a while, since it was originally made. And the hope is to actually be able to build a house on it at this point.
Tatiana or John, any comments?
Yes, we have done a review on the drainage system. We've issued a couple comments to I guess a previous applicant, Mike Chesnowski. I don't know if he's still attached to the project. But yeah, we're still waiting on responses to those comments.
All right, thank you, John. Okay, to the commission. Comments, questions? In the
Through the chair.
meantime, John, go ahead and give them what we'd like for a walk.
Well, first I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
You said we have a septic system on here? Can you
Yes.
blow up the plan a little bit again so we can see more? Okay.
So house is here, septic tank, fields are here.
Do you have a reserve field planned as well in this?
Yep, it's over here.
Where would it be? Those two right there.
I don't know if you
Okay.
can see my cursor moving. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Does this house have city water?
That's an interesting question. I do not actually see a well on here, so my guess is yes. But oh yeah, see, there's apparently a water line coming up the driveway. It's serving this house in the back.
Okay. We'll get into what we want to mark off. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, David.
I would like to see sort of a future limit of disturbance established somewhere between the wetlands and the limit of grading. I see they've got a series of boulders already on the property. I'd really love to just sort of establish that continuing across the property and say, you know, this is where you can go in the future. The rest between that and the wetlands, you know, leave alone. But it seems a little ambiguous at the moment.
So we do have a limit of disturbance for
But the limit of
construction
disturbance
process.
there is for construction. And I would sort of like to set the limit of disturbance for the homeowners at this point in time. I think that would be valuable for the owners or new purchasers to say, okay, this is where we are. If we stay within this envelope, we're good, versus, you know, them clearing down to the wetlands at some point, getting a violation and then being back in front of us.
Obviously, I'm not the owner of the property or a lawyer, so but I would imagine that would actually require some sort of conservation easement, wouldn't it? Would it not?
Not necessarily. It's forward thinking. If they don't want to do it, it just puts the future buyers, you know, at risk of coming back before us, versus, you know, trying to be ahead of this stuff. Something to think about, talk to your client about it. If they don't want to do it, that's certainly up to them, but it might be something that would be advisable at this point in time to say, you know, this is where we will allow you to go to, both now and in the future.
Okay, I will definitely bring it up.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Greg.
You said this is a shared driveway. Did I misunderstand?
Yeah, there is so again, I'll go back to the original subdivision.
Because I'm looking at it, it looks different on the site plan from the plan you were just at.
Right. So I was not around in 1989 for this project, so I don't know if this was obviously a single piece of property. But they gave this access to the rear lot, and then what you can just barely see probably because of the nature of the way we're presenting this, but you can see that there's an existing driveway that runs along the property line. Almost certainly built afterwards. The fact that it is there tells me that we located it, or at the very least, it showed up on an aerial, so that it is existing and it is there. And so what we will be doing is we will be coming off of it just prior to the end of the property to serve the house.
Okay, and this had a turnaround. It looks like going to the right. You had another site plan, was it 2.1?
Let's see, hold on. This is 2.1. So
Oh, that's
again,
2.1.
I am presuming and am confident just because I know I know my survey crew. This driveway is very likely accurate. I do not see that it has an existing turnaround. It was probably because it was built in shortly after 1989. They probably was not the every 350 or every 250 or whatever rule to have a pull off. That is probably a thing that should be rectified.
To the chair.
Are you done, Greg?
Yes.
Go ahead,
Thank you.
John.
Can you drive down this road right now, or this driveway? Or is there trees in the middle of it, or how's it? Is it cleared out, or
There's a house served in the back.
where's that house located? If you could point at it.
I might be able to show you. So this here, if
I
this
don't
came
see
up, I
it.
have near map up. If you can see this, there is a house in this rear lot, right? That is
Can you put your cursor in that area? Because I don't see your cursor. There we go.
is that better?
Okay, so there's a house over there.
Yeah, so
To the-
that is a
To
working
the right of this
existing
other house we're
driveway.
going to build.
Say again?
So it's to the right of the house that you're going to build there. There's another
Correct.
house.
Yep. So this is our
And it's
lot.
close to the septic systems that you're going to put in as well.
Well, no, because
Yep.
so if you imagine this where this house is on the site plan, let me get that back up.
Yeah, can
Right,
you bring,
the
how did you
house-
get at? Okay,
Is located here, right? And the septic is over there.
it's on the other side of the line there. Okay.
Yeah.
Barisha's house. Okay,
Barisha's house is somewhere south of where this it says install 90-foot grass well, right? It's somewhere over here.
okay. So they're the ones who share the driveway.
Correct.
Thank you.
And just to be clear, I do not know I don't know what the agreement is. I don't know about how they're going about and that part of it. I think that's more of a zoning issue. But
Exactly.
just to be clear, I don't know what the status of that connection is. I assume that because we're proposing this, somebody must have rights to drive up it. But again, that's just an assumption based upon prior experience.
So this is not an unimproved road. This is a private driveway.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other
Through the-
comments, questions?
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Carmine.
regarding the driveway, I feel that we should see that agreement that is a shared driveway between the two properties, because in the event there is a problem down the road, the only way they can gain access to this house is through the wetlands.
Carmine, are you talking about if there was a WPCA issue in the future?
No, if there was a disagreement between two future owners and now, because that driveway is not on this property, it's on the other property. And
I
if
think the
that
attorney,
agreement fails, they have no access to this house that they want to build unless they go through the wetlands.
Mr. Cordone, I think that I guess he's probably going to say what I'm going to say about zoning, but I'll leave it to him.
Well, I think that what Carmine is saying is that if for some reason, and I don't think this is true, it would be silly, but let's just say if for some reason they did not have rights and no agreement could be reached, you'd have to cut through these wetlands or through these wetlands to get up back to the house, right? That is what you're saying,
Yes.
Mr. DeFeo. Sorry, I called you Carmine before without asking. Sorry about that. But anyway, we will definitely find that out. I mean, I'm sure we know, but I don't know. So we can definitely solidify that prior to the main presentation.
Yeah, because as I understand it, this is why zoning does not allow any more shared driveways, because though at the time the houses are built, there could be the agreement, but unless that agreement is cast in stone and cannot be broken, if it does get broken in the future, now somebody is without access.
But through the chair,
Go ahead, Rich.
Mr. DeFeo, I think this application, it appeared they already had approval in the past. Maybe council could clarify.
And Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Attorney Cordone.
this may be a question also for town staff. This is one building lot and there's already an existing house on it. I'm just curious what's before the commission tonight.
No, there is not an existing house on the building lot.
I apologize. I thought the arrow was, what is the arrow showing then?
I don't. That's a leftover from me being on near map. Sorry.
Okay.
So just again for clarity, this is the current status of the lot.
If
So
you
this is
go
the-
back
this
to
is the
that
neighbor.
last drawing that you just
This is-
had
yeah.
up,
Yeah, that's a good one, Carmine.
that shows the two properties.
Okay.
If you can go back. Yeah, this one here. So the driveway is all part of that house that's on the right. And the new application is that area outside of that driveway in the wetlands where they want to build the second house.
Right, in the directly to the, as you're looking at this, directly to the left of that existing house is where that house is going to go.
So is this a plan to subdivide, or this was already subdivided?
This was subdivided in 1989, so these are two separate lots.
Okay. Well, I think some of these may be zoning questions as to the validity of the subdivision and road frontage and things of that nature. So, but I think Commissioner DeFeo is correct to ask for any title documents related to access to the property.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Eller?
Yes, I have some additional questions. Are any trees being taken down?
I do not have a plan showing which trees are being taken down. What I can say is that our limits of disturbance are here, and as you can see from the aerial, a portion of this is in fact wooded. So yes, there certainly are going to be trees taken down. I just can't tell you which ones or what size.
And like previously, again, you don't indicate whether there's material to be deposited or excavated, yet you give the figures. Can we get that clarified as how much is excavated and how much is deposited?
Okay.
Are you good, Carmine?
Well, it's again another minor detail, not to beat a dead horse, but again, there's another person that was granted to be the agent to the property owner and not Jay Edwards.
Do you know who that is, out of curiosity?
It appears to be someone in the family. It's an Edward Capoziello.
Okay, we'll clarify that, but just for my own clarity, we can certainly make our engineering presentation without us being the agent for the applicant. That is correct, true?
No.
No.
You may not.
We can't. Okay. I will definitely make a note.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Bob.
I wonder if we can have again, as we did the earlier proposal, have trees marked again that are going to be so we can see that at the site visit.
And we need to do the outline of the building and the water detention system as well.
Good point, Jim.
They should actually stake the limits of disturbance.
And do you want to, these trees should be shown on a plan too.
Do you have a we work in a lot of towns. I apologize. It's hard to remember which has what.
6 inches.
You guys have a
6
specific
inches and above.
size and up that you need located?
6 inches and above, Mr. Eller.
6 inches and above, okay.
I'd also like to see the septic tank and the leaching fields marked.
Okay.
One other question, just curious. Why, since the existing, or since the proposed leaching field is in the upland review with the reserve outside of it, why not reverse those? So that the leaching fields are out of the upland review.
So if I had to guess, and again, I was not the design engineer on this, but what I would say is that the soil tests probably were better over at where we're putting the system. And so the reserve is the second choice,
By state law, if you have a well,
No,
it
it's
has to be
public water.
75 feet from a septic system. So these leaching fields are much further than 75 feet.
It's public
and
water, John.
What's the public water? These wetlands?
No, city water.
The property is on city water.
They're all qualified.
Yeah. Yeah. So what does that mean? We have
You don't
leaching
need the
fields,
75
yes.
feet separation.
Do we have
It won't be-
75 feet separation?
It won't
No,
be a
I
You don't
WPA.
need it, John. It's on
You don't
public
need it.
water.
I
There's no
understand that.
well.
I'm using the analogy of would we pollute the wetlands from those leaching fields? If you can have a well 75 feet away from them by state law, we're further than that already from the wetlands itself. So I'm saying that there shouldn't be any problems. That's the analogy.
What they're not showing on this plan, and if they're on 2.1, I believe it is there is a sliver of wetlands on the northern corner of the property. If you look on sheet 2.0, you can see that their setback comes in halfway through the property, which is this red line. And then if you look back up in that corner just above it, there's actually a sliver of wetlands with the dashed dot line in that corner. So both the primary and the reserve are within the setback area. And this map 2.1 is incorrectly showing the setback, the review area. It should be, it should extend right by the 432 contour back to the property line.
But I see what you're saying now, and again, not the designer on this, but I will definitely clarify what's going on over there. That looks for, there are no flags indicated on it, but I don't know if that means anything, so we'll definitely clarify.
Yeah. Check with Mr. Danzer and see if
Yep.
there were any flags up there. It does not look like it based on his soils report. So one of your two plans is incorrect in showing the setbacks. Figure out which one it is and resubmit corrected.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, John, while we have a moment, you want to give them what we need for the walk?
We might have already in this conversation, but
Yeah,
can we zoom in on
So
the house
I
again?
have from our previous, you wanted the septic, the limit of disturbance, the building and the detention system all indicated for the walk, plus the trees, specifically the 6 inches and higher. That's what I wrote down.
Could you also put a stake at the entrance center line of the driveway?
Yep.
Is that good with everyone?
Mhm.
That's good. All right, are we good? Can we move on?
Through the chair. Do we have permission to go up that driveway?
Attorney Cordone?
Well, that's the only access to the property, correct?
Yeah.
Mr. Eller?
Well, I mean, technically the property has the required frontage. Obviously that frontage is in the wetlands. However, and again, I don't know this because I'm not looking at the deed right this second. But if we have rights, which I assume we do because we are coming off of that existing driveway, if we have rights to access the property on that rear lot driveway, and again, that's an assumption I'm going to make because we're building a house off there, then so would you, right? Because it is access to the property.
Well, I guess my question was, in the normal course of doing a walk, they're not going to walk from Madison Avenue onto the property. They're going to come the other direction where the driveway is. Is that the feasible? Where is the driveway? Is it off Madison or is it off of?
Driveway runs off Madison along the property line all the way up to that rear lot, right? So it is adjacent to.
Okay, my apologies then. So, and it just accesses the one house that's currently there?
Correct.
The lot number 2 that is
Correct.
not part of this application. So I think a fair question is that we need to just, if you can confirm with your client that we have permission to access that driveway prior to the walk. I know your client's granting us access, but I think.
Right. And again, all I'm saying is that I would presume, just based upon
Correct. One would
things
think you would.
that he must have rights over that, but we'll see. We'll double check for sure.
So if you could confirm that, please. Thank
Yep.
you.
All right, are we good?
Just one other question, Chairman. If some people can't make the site visit, and like permission as individuals to do the same.
Yeah, well, if it allows the Wetlands Commission to go on, that means we
Okay.
can go on anytime this application is being heard and it's active, so we're good there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're good? All right, thank you, Mr. Eller. We're moving
Thank you.
on to application 26-15. Mark Amir, it's a permit approval for hydraulic suction dredging of existing pond, temporary grading, disposal of dredged spoils, and restore all disturbed areas as lawn within a regulated area at 101 Governor Trumbull Way.
Good evening. For the record, this is Tracy Shalafo with Tracy Shalafo LLC Landscape Architecture located in Danbury, Connecticut. And with me tonight, we have the applicant for the Governor's Ridge Association, Mark Amler of Pristine Waters LLC, and he's also the pond dredging contractor. If I could please share my screen. I'd like to orient you to the site and give you a general overview of the project for acceptance tonight. Can everyone see this locus map?
Yep.
Okay, great. So we are proposing to hydraulically suction dredge an existing pond, and it's at the south side of Route 111. And the parcel here is the Governor's Ridge Association condominium complex here. So the pond is right here, nestled somewhat close to Route 111. And to give you a slightly more zoomed in overview of this and the total work area. Okay, so here's the pond, here's Route 111. The pond is approximately a ½ acre in size, and based on the sediment depth testing that Pristine Waters conducted, there's an average sediment depth of about 3¼ feet. This is a combination of organics and sand that has accumulated over time. And we're just looking to remove that and restore the pond to its original depth. The method, and I will have Mark Amler of Pristine Waters get into this a little more deeply if you have any questions, but hydraulic suction dredging is a system where the sediment is essentially vacuumed up. And in this case, it would be pumped to the south to a temporary dewatering area. The temporary dewatering area is behind units 408 and 410. And the area would be graded to be flat, 0% pitch. And then plastic liners would be set on the ground and dewatering tubes would be set up, which they're basically large geotextile tubes. And we have dimensions on here for those tubes, and they're sized to accommodate all of the slurry or sediment that's coming out of the pond. So the slurry is pumped through the hoses to these tubes. They fill up, they puff up. The water weeps out to this liner below, which is basically an enclosed sort of tray defined by either, in this case, we'd probably use water barriers that are draped in this plastic. And so it's basically a containment system for the water to weep out of the tubes. And then there's a return hose to send the water back to the pond. So the nice thing about this type of dredging is that we don't have to drain the pond to conduct the dredging. And it's very sensitive to wildlife because we keep the water level quite high during this operation. Also, there's an existing vegetative buffer adjacent to the pond, and we don't intend on disturbing that or removing any vegetation. So no trees, no shrubs are to be removed because we're actually going to crane the machine into the pond up and over that vegetation and set it on the water. Once the tubes have dried out completely, then the tubes would be cut open and the dried sediment or dredge spoils, as they're also referred to, would they're proposed to be disposed of on site. So at sort of the southwest portion of the site, there exists an open lawn area. So this is where we would like to place the spoils, and there's a grading plan for this also that shows how the proposed grading will be after these spoils are placed. And we were just mindful in designing this to make sure it wasn't too steep. So I think the maximum slope here is probably a 4-to-1 max. So the spoils would be placed there, it would be raked out and seeded as lawn with, of course, a layer of hay mulch. Also, part of this plan, you'll see there are sediment and erosion controls called out. So we have silt fence on any downhill sides of disturbance areas. Stabilized construction access routes are shown for both the dredge disposal area and also for machinery to access and grade out this area. This area, once the tubes have been removed, it would be graded back to the pre-disturbance topography and reseeded as lawn. There is some existing invasive vegetation in this hatched area that we're proposing to remove and restore as lawn because it seemed that historically had been lawn, and this currently is just bramble and a mix of invasives. Again, no trees are proposed to be removed, and the disturbance here is temporary, and we do not intend on changing the shape of the pond whatsoever with this application. So with that, I would love to turn it over to Mark Amler of Pristine Waters, and he can maybe answer a little more in depth about the small scale hydraulic dredging method. Thank you.
So my name is Mark Ambler from Pristine Waters. If you would be so kind as to allow me to share screen.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry, bear with me 1 second.
While Mark's doing that, Tatiana, did you have any comments on what Tracy just presented?
Just curious actually if those bladders basically are by the watercourse, why not let the water, clear water, just seep back through to the watercourse? Why are you pumping it back? And it's really not a comment, just curious.
I'll address that if I may. Can everybody see these documents? Okay. So we are actually planning, our intent is to drain by gravity, if possible. We put it in the plan as to pump it back or to run it through hose, but that's really only if it's absolutely necessary because the grades just won't work in that particular scenario. We don't foresee that. The plan is in fact to drain by gravity. And the way that will work is we're actually running the pipe and the hose up through this blue line here. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. So this blue line, that's actually the discharge line from our small hydraulic dredge. And it's actually following the stream or creek corridor that comes down from the pond that's higher up in the property. In fact, you can kind of see the edge of it right here. Water drains from here and it runs all the way through here down to this pond over here. So our plan is to actually run pipe and hose up basically that area, so that again we're trying to limit what we need to do to get that through there. But that is in fact the plan. I don't want to bore people with stuff that they already know. Are you guys familiar with hydraulic dredging, specifically horizontal auger hydraulic dredging?
No.
Okay.
No.
Educate us. We don't mind.
Okay. So, when we think about dredging, we usually think about 3 different types of dredging. And the first thing that most people think of is mechanical dredging. So they think of, excavators, clamshell buckets, bulldozers, all that kind of stuff. Most of the time when you're doing a freshwater pond dredging at this point, the pond will be dewatered completely before and allowed to dry before the sediment is removed. And while that's still necessary in some scenarios, especially with heavily consolidated materials like gravel and sand, there are alternatives now. And the alternative that we recommended to our client is small scale hydraulic dredging with a horizontal auger dredge. Doesn't require draining the pond. It's relatively low turbidity. If you were to, as comparison, if you were to try to clamshell dredge this pond, which would be close to impossible anyway, just due to site access. But this is the piece of equipment that we plan on using in this pond. So what you're actually looking at is a 21-foot long by 6-foot wide steel catamaran with a boom that pivots off the back of the dredge with an auger head at the front, contained within a shroud. Right behind this auger head, there's a 6-inch by 6-inch pump. So this machine is placed on the water. The boom is lowered until the head is resting on top of the sediment. What you can't see in this particular picture is the presence of a windlass pulley. So the dredge is self-propelled, but in that it pulls itself along a cable line that we stretch across the pond and then adjust so that we can take different tracks as we go through the pond to make sure we get all the sediment. So what happens here is as this machine is being pulled across the pond, this auger head is resting against the sediment and it's churning the sediment and mixing it with the water, creating that slurry that Tracy mentioned. And then the pump right behind it is essentially sucking that slurry out as it's being churned up. And then off the back of the dredge, there is a 6-inch discharge line. So we connect a combination of HDPE pipe, some floating, some static, and then also hose to allow the dredge to articulate. So that's how that machine works. So this discharge line is going to go up through this creek corridor and then onto land at the dewatering area on the map that Tracy showed you before. And then it goes directly into one of these big geotextile tubes. So what we're creating here is a circuit, and we're using the water as the transport media to convey the sediment through the system, through the circuit. This gives you kind of an idea of what this looks like on a cross-section basis. So you have the auger head chewing into the sediment here, suspending it in the water, and then it's being sucked out through the pump, which is right here next to this one, through the boom to the discharge line, and then ultimately to land. So in this particular case, the dredge will be operated and basically it'll be set up on this cable system and it'll make successive passes either from left to right or from top to bottom until it's shaved down all of the sediment in the pond and essentially removed it. In addition to that, we're going to have a turbidity curtain right where my cursor kind of is right here, blocking off the culvert where the water exits the pond and travels under the road to a creek. The purpose of the turbidity curtain is to obviously contain that turbidity and give whatever suspended solids are left in the water time to settle out. So that's kind of a quick primer on hydraulic dredging. This is kind of what Tracy was referring to before with regards to the geotextile tubes she referenced. In this particular illustration, the berm around this geotextile tube, kind of creating that tray she mentioned, is made with hay bales that are staked in. But in this particular instance, I suspect it won't be hay bales just because not terribly cost effective, and there are equally as good ways to hold that water in, and it can create that containment. So that's my little dredging, hydraulic dredging, horizontal auger hydraulic dredging primer. And if anybody has any questions about that, I'm happy to answer.
Again, Tatiana or John, any comments from engineering or questions?
Sorry. I think also during preliminary review, I had commented that the testing was kind of proposed to be rather sparse. I think only 2 tests were proposed for that amount of material. Seems a little bit light.
So I'm happy to address that. I'm actually the person who responded. I did it based on what historically has been required. So when you think about the material coming out of the pond, and I think it's 2,600 cubic yards off the top of my head. 2,600 cubic yards is going to consolidate and dry out. And when it's done drying in these tubes, it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 40% of the original volume. the in situ volume, the volume it occupies inside the water. So once the water content of all this material essentially dries out, you're going to be left with somewhere between 40% of it. So you're talking about 900 cubic yards, just doing math in my head very quickly, 900 to 1,000 cubic yards, or conceivably even less. It's somewhere between 500 and 1,000 cubic yards is what's going to be left. In similar instances where we had to test the sediment prior to either exporting or using on site, because believe it or not, that's a relatively new thing that most towns are asking for. But it's one sample, one consolidated sample per 500 cubic yards of dry material. So that's why I came up with that. If it bears out that we need to do more testing, that's perfectly fine. That's just how I conceived of that.
Okay, thank you. It may be acceptable, just seemed a little bit late.
Sure.
Thank you for explanation.
John, Gloria, you had some questions?
Yeah. My biggest concern would be the downstream effects of this. So we're cleaning out this pond and we have this big culvert that goes onto Route 25. And then we have this stream, and that stream goes directly into the Pequannock River. Is that stream going to be running clear this whole time, or is it going to be murky?
It should be relatively clear. There's always going to be a little bit, but based on what I've seen on site and on the neighboring property, which is commercial, so I believe it's a retail, across the road. There is essentially a stream running through there. If it's running exceptionally murky, we stop. We do not continue to work. We'll be watching this the whole time. That said, the material that theoretically could get out, which probably won't, but theoretically could, in a worst case scenario, is extremely minor and extremely light. The water may look worse than it is. If you were to leave it in a jar and settle a sample, it ends up being literally nothing. I mean, not even something that you could really measure. But that said, we can put in a couple of curtains, a series of curtains to try to settle out water more. Not typically a problem. It's the best answer I can give you.
Could you put those curtains on both sides of the culvert, or you just put it on the?
We can. We can if the property owner is amenable, or if the Inland Wetlands Commission has the kind of authority to grant us the ability to go on property and do that. I would
It
be
might be
perfectly
state
happy
property,
to.
just on the other side of the road, even. I don't know.
Very well could be. But yes,
Okay.
we'd be willing to put curtains on both sides.
Yeah. And that brook itself, just for your own records, is called Farrar's Brook.
Farrar's?
Okay, so that Farrar's Brook, yes.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the commission?
For the chair.
Well, I saw Bob's hand go up first. Go ahead, Bob.
So what's the ultimate depth going to be? What are you starting at and what are you at?
So it's going to vary throughout the pond. This pond is pretty substantially filled. I would say that the work has been, the maintenance has been deferred as almost as long as they possibly could wait. And even further to that, waiting longer is actually counterintuitive because they barely have enough space to do this as it stands today. And mechanically dredging the pond would be horrific from a traffic perspective, from an odor perspective, a disturbance perspective. I actually have a map in here. Just bear with me 1 second. No, I don't have it. I'm sorry. But in most areas of the pond, you're talking about less than less than 2 or 3 feet of water, standing water. And max depth in the pond is probably more like 8 to 10 feet of water.
So you're going from like 3 to about 9.
Yeah,
as
but
far
it's
as you
not.
know.
Yeah, but it's also not consistent. That 8 or 9 is like the deepest point in the pond. If they think of the pond as a basin with a slope grading down into a deep pit, so it varies throughout. I think the average was about 3 point something, 3.25 or 3.5 feet of sediment throughout the pond. So there's places where I think we measured 7 or 8 feet of sediment, and then other places where there's less than a foot. So it varies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, David, I believe you had a question
Not so much of a question, but
or
I
a
have
comment?
used this type of dredging on a pond in New Canaan, and it worked out better than we had hoped. There was very little turbidity of water that left the pond during the construction process or during the dredging process. The wildlife was not disturbed. It went very smoothly, and I was very happy with the results at the end of the process. And I had been a part of several other pond dredging operations where it was done mechanically with excavators and stuff, and it was a mess. This was a very clean operation. It's really the way to do this sort of pond dredging. And as far as, the sampling of materials in the pond that we did in New Canaan, the material varied from when you went in the pond, there was a lot more sand, to the far end of the pond where it was more leaf matter and whatnot. And the depths varied wildly, just from, there was more at the beginning because that's where everything settled out. And then towards the other end, it also was a little unpredictable. But, so it's not an exact science, but this is the best way to actually dredge a pond of this nature. What are you bringing up, New Canaan?
I'm actually trying to pull up a map that I do have of this pond. I have a better one. But while you're talking, I thought I might take an opportunity to see if I could give you a little more information on what it looks like underwater.
This is the best way to do a pond of this sort. And the turbidity was very low, and the water leaving the pond was very clear.
Through the chair, can I
Thank
have
you,
a comment?
David. Go ahead, John.
Has anyone thought about like installing some gabions or something like that into where the stream first enters the pond, and it could be cleaned out on a yearly basis?
So we did discuss that with the homeowners association. The real challenge is, and I think it bears noting that you'll really see this when you do go to visit, not knowing if anybody's particularly familiar with the property or the water courses on the property.
I used to play in that property when it was a swamp when I was a kid.
Well, so you're familiar with what it was.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah. So the access is extraordinarily difficult to do that. I think that we typically recommend that. That's one of the first things that we start talking about when we look at doing a dredging project is really how do you prevent it from happening again? Because then you're reducing the disturbance. So, it makes it for one thing, it makes permitting much easier, and it turns a very expensive project into a much more plannable, manageable, ongoing sort of maintenance item. Unfortunately, again, the the access to this area where the water comes into that pond is very difficult. When they used to build these condo complexes, or at least in this case, they're really packed in. We had to really search to find any open space to do this in. in a cost-effective and low-impact kind of way. So while I would love to, and I think that the association would probably be very receptive to doing that, I don't think it's necessarily pragmatic in this particular
Okay.
instance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments?
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Carmine.
I'll describe it as a channel. That, is it connecting the two ponds? That squiggly channel that goes on the top of the page all the way over to the other pond?
This up here, can you still see?
Well, I'm looking at the drawing. I really,
Okay. So I don't know exactly what you're looking at right now, but
well, you can go back to drawing WP1.
sure, I'll just give up the screen. Tracy, can you bring up WP1?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, that whole squiggly section there that goes from the pond that you're dredging all the way to the pond on the right.
Yes.
Is that a waterway or what is that?
So yeah, it's kind of I guess it's called Farrar's Brook, according to your colleague, John Loria.
Okay.
So
It might be Farrar's Brook at the at the exit of the pond. Okay.
Okay, so then yeah, so but essentially yes, it's like a little brook that as water fills up in the upper pond, it drains out through this little squiggly line into the lower pond.
And the lower pond is the one on the right,
The lower pond is the one on the left.
on the left.
Yes.
So the water's going right to left.
Correct.
This was all a swamp at one time.
Yeah.
Carmine.
Yeah, I know.
It's all been rerouted. Oh,
Yeah. That the pond on the right, do I assume that that was checked and does not need to be dredged in any way?
No, has not been checked to my knowledge. It wasn't requested of us. I guess the appearance of it at this time suggests that it probably doesn't need dredging. Also, they have a pond management company that we've worked with pretty extensively in the past. If they thought that pond needed to be dredged, they would have recommended that that when the association called us, that we would have reached out or we would have assessed that as well. But I don't believe it's in need of dredging at the moment.
And is the water that's returning to the pond, is it going through that creek?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any wildlife in these water? Fish, turtles
Certainly.
or?
Yes, without question there is. Not that I actually saw any, but I guarantee you it's there. And the next natural question is how is this safe for wildlife? And I would say that the mortality on a hydraulic dredging job is a fraction of what it would be on a mechanical dredging job, unless you spend the time and money, which is very expensive, to relocate. And even then, you're not going to be able to do that. What we've learned, because we also do something called diver-assisted suction dredging, which is where a person literally goes in the water and hand vacuums with a pump on land the sediment out. What we've learned through many, 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 many thousands of hours of doing that is that wildlife, other than the benthic wildlife, the mobile wildlife will move. They feel the presence of a larger animal in the pond, and they tend to move for us as divers. From the perspective of a machine doing it, you have tremendous vibration coming from these machines as they're working, because there's an engine on it. and that engine is the power plant that's driving the pump and the auger. And at the end of the day, as this thing approaches these animals at 9 feet per minute, 9 feet per minute, the animals tend to move out of the way and go to find clearer, kind of more hospitable areas of the pond while we're working. So that's generally my answer to the question, because it comes up all the time.
And if
You
a,
good,
and
Carmine?
if a turtle does get sucked in, it more or less will die, or there's a
Well,
chance it could survive?
It can't actually be sucked in. There's a guard on the pump
Okay.
that doesn't allow anything bigger than, say, I mean, a rock that's three and a quarter inches in diameter, I believe. That's the only thing that's the smallest, the biggest thing that can pass. But again, the turtles, they move. I mean, I've watched it personally over thousands of hours. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
All right. Anyone else from the commission? If we're good? All right, thank you, Tracy, and thank you, Mark. We're going to move on to the next application.
Thank you all.
My pleasure.
Have a nice
Thank you.
evening. Good night.
Okay, application 26-16, Lawrence and Maria Haslam. It's a permit approval to remove 13 trees plus 4 additional 4 trees previously removed and plant 41 trees and or plants within a regulated area at 272 Strobel.
Hello? Why isn't it opening up? How come I can't hear anything?
We can hear
We're
you,
here.
we can't
Oh,
see
you
you.
can hear me. All right, now I hear you. Okay. You can't see me though. Why?
Turn your video on.
There it is. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, you still have audio, but
There it is.
there
Okay.
you
She
go.
is.
All
All
right.
right. Okay. Phew. Okay. We
Excuse me, ma'am, you have to
Yeah.
give your name and
Oh.
your address. Sorry.
Maria Haslam, 272 Strobel Road, Trumbull, Connecticut.
All right.
I submitted a map. It's not as fancy as everybody else's, but this is what our landscaper gave us. We want to remove their dead trees in the front. Last year, one fell, and we had 3, including the first one that fell, removed because they were hollowed in the middle. So
Okay, I'm going to ask you to hold just 1 second. Tatiana, are you able to put on something on the screen for us?
Oh, I got it. I think, I don't know if mine will get on there.
John Mayer, do you have anything
I'm trying to
that
get
you
it
put on?
Yeah.
Engineering doesn't have
Yeah.
any plans for this?
I'll share my screen.
Oh, there it
All right,
goes.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
John.
He's got it.
1 second.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Mrs. Haslam.
Okay. We want to remove, there's 6 oak trees that are 48 feet, 1 tulip tree, 48 feet. There's 3 tulip trees that are 12 feet, 1 maple that's 24 feet, 1 swamp tree that's 24 feet, and 1 sweet gum tree. And then we had 4 previously removed that I put in a picture for. And then we plan on planting 25 green giants, 6 red oyster dogwood, 6 winter berry, and 4 Carl Forester grass in that area. The pictures that I have, oh, there it is. That's a little, I guess, table to explain the pictures that I have that where the trees are located and what we're going to have planted. And there's 5 in the backyard. That's all included that we would like to have removed, not immediately, but eventually, because they're starting to hollow out. You can see it from the bottom going up in the tree. And that's it. That's basically it. Right.
All right, Tatiana. You want to give us an overview on this?
It's really tree removal, as applicant mentioned. There was previous work and now new work proposed. We've actually stopped by on the site a while ago. The commission may remember that there was no final planting plan produced. So hopefully we can find a resolution this time and finish it up. But I don't have any comments. Thank
All
you.
right, did you notice, this has, have the trees been marked that you want to remove?
No, but I can do that. I can put tape on them.
All right, well, if you
Oh,
can
on
put,
the plans, they're here. On the plan, on the map, it
no,
is.
I'm talking when we do our walk.
Oh, yeah. I could put the tape on the trees that want to be removed.
All right. Okay,
And
I'm
I can make
opening,
sure I'm here. I can make sure I'm home if you need me to be.
all right. All right, comments, questions from the commission?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, David.
Haven't we looked at this property previously?
It
I
was,
remember that the stream and the pipe and
We have.
from what I
I'm-
remember, it was, from what I remember, it was not through an application. It was,
was it a
we
violation?
I think it was more like a violation.
Oh,
I think we were trying to process it administratively initially, but now that they're adding more trees, it's before the commission.
All right, comments, questions?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, John.
Do we know where the upland review area ends? Are the trees on the bottom of the plan within our upland review area, or?
Which tree?
The ones, I think those are trees to be removed that are on the bottom of this plan. There's 5.
Oh, for the backyard, the black.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are eventually we want to have those removed because they're hollowing on the bottom and they're
Okay. Do you know how far they are from the stream?
they're oof. I
Okay.
think that maybe the closest one is on the far left right here. That's the closest one. I think. How many feet is that close to the water, you think?
I mean, you're probably talking about 300 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the way in the yard.
Yeah.
It's all the way back.
Yeah,
the
that's
edge.
all the way up on the top of the backyard over there.
Okay, we'll take a look at those
Yeah.
more there as well.
And it's
Okay,
on
thank
a
you.
slope. It's on a slope, and the actual property itself is starting to the dirt and stuff is starting to give way. So those trees aren't even safe anymore.
Yeah, there's a couple sinkholes that are all of a sudden developing, even with the neighbor next door. And
All right.
I don't know what's going on.
All right, for the record, that was Lawrence Haslam.
Yes.
Tatiana, what brought this before us? Is there a stream? Is there wetlands? What's,
We have the brook in the front. There's a stream right in the front yard, right where it should be on the plans, right Oh, yeah.
Okay,
John is showing you the
Right
water
there.
course,
That's
right?
where
Right,
the
all right.
and it goes all the way around the side.
And the
All right, so that's
violation
what-
was we cut some trees down along the stream. Is that what the violation is?
Yeah, so
Yes.
what happened was these trees were rotten.
One
they-
fell.
Yeah, one came down.
So we had it removed, and then we removed there were 3 more that were dead that have hollowed in the middle. We did not know that we needed a permit to remove the trees. That's the whole, we had no idea. So then
Okay.
we got a letter in the mail, and that's why we wanted to get it all set correctly.
Are the stumps
and-
still there?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you could spray paint the stumps or something too, or something.
All right,
I don't
yeah.
know, or put a tag on them or something so we can see where they
Okay.
were.
Yep.
Thank you.
all right. Anyone else? All right, if you can make sure that's done probably in several weeks, we'll be doing our
we'll do
walk.
it.
You'll be notified. All right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Greg, I need a motion to close new business.
I'd like to make a motion to close new business.
Seconded by Rich Deacon, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Good night, all. All right, going to old business, which is application 26-08. Alexandra Moch, I believe. It's a permit approval for an in-ground pool with a spa, pool terrace, pool equipment pad, and stormwater detention system within a regulated area at 112 Hilltop Drive. Which happens to be the best trick-or-treating street in all of Trumbull.
Good evening. My name is Alexandra Mock, and I'm a soil wetland scientist, and I'm here to present the application. As you remember, we did made the official presentation last time at the last meeting and listened to your comments and staff comments, and also you went to the site and you added a few more comments. So tonight I'm going to be responding to all the comments I collected. Starting with the application form, we added several activities. So we started with an in-ground swimming pool with spa and pool terrace, a pool equipment pad, and stormwater retention system. And then the commission found that at the site plan, there was a patio over here, which hasn't been permitted. So I did add the patio of 407 square feet. Also, the stormwater management had been adjusted to include runoff from this new surface. And remove landscape debris and a pile of soil, which was found. Actually, I did kind of put some plants in that area previously, saying that this was like a little storage of the landscaping debris. And when the commission went out, actually, you've seen it that there were leaves, branches, and also there was like along the edges was a little pile of soil. So showing this now on the site plan that this is where it is, and that it is going to be removed. And the last one which we added was the tree. So when the commission walked the site and finally actually the corners of the patio were taken, it was discovered that one of the trees, which is red maple, 16 inches, it's actually growing in the exact corner of this patio. Therefore, will have to be removed during the construction, and we're showing where the maple is and the size, and that it is going to be removed. Now, to address the landscaping pile and also the loss of a tree, we are presenting the final planting plan. And the planting plan is mostly covering the area of the debris and soil. We're adding one red maple to mitigate for the loss of the one next to the pool terrace. And also, while stabilizing the edges of the stream, the areas which are maintained as a lawn. I felt that this will benefit. It will provide some deeper root system to stabilize the edges and make this area stable. So we are proposing 33 shrubs and 1 maple tree. And I hope I did address all the questions you've had. And if you have any additional ones, I'm here to answer them.
Okay, Tatiana, your review or comments?
Sorry, I don't know why my video keeps jumping off. So that disturbed area was a point of concern during the walk for the commission. I think it would be beneficial to review, yeah, if the plantings are acceptable to the commission, but otherwise we're good with engineering. I believe, John, let me know if you have anything outstanding.
All right, then in the interim, I
Also.
know that David is checking the planting plan. John, did you have any comments, our town engineer?
No, we're all set.
All right. Okay,
Through the chair.
go ahead, Greg.
The other question where that footbridge was in flag 26 and 27, you have that marked, you're acknowledging that you will clean that spot up. I wrote on, when I did my walkthrough, I wrote over by flags 29 and 30 was also some garden debris, brush. So can you at least, we'll probably add that to our comments, but if there's stuff there, to the left, toward the left of 29 and 30.
It's actually kind of follow, the stream is not shown the entire way through, but the stream continues off the side. And the pile is kind of along the edge of this stream. I'm not sure or not, maybe slightly encroaches upon the neighboring property. I do understand what pile you were talking about. So we'll be more than happy to add this to the map and also make a note that this pile also going to be removed.
Okay, thank you.
Other comments,
Through the chair.
questions?
Sure.
Good, David.
Looking at the planting plan, is there a reason why there isn't some planting done closer to the pool terrace?
I was focusing on the wetland and wetland benefits. There are going to be probably some landscaping associated with the pool, but not necessary. This is probably going to be more of a ornamental landscaping. I'm not sure if it is going to be designed, and it's going to be designed by others. This focuses just on wetland mitigation.
Okay. And was there any planting up by the fire pit off the patio? By flags 19 to 20?
So there's actually ornamental plants here. In kind of.
So that's all stabilized.
Right, and also in here you have some ornament. I think that's like evergreen hedge from what I remember. So the other areas were pretty much planted and stable. So the only area which was, I wouldn't say not stable, but it was maintained as a lawn, and I thought, well, maybe we can just treat the buffer a little bit better. We added the plants here because it was like the most appropriate.
Okay. Otherwise, I think the planting plan looks good.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Rich.
Just a question to David. You're looking at the list of plantings. I just want to confirm that all these plantings are native to New England and there's no invasives.
No invasives,
Yes,
native, very native to New England, and also deer resistant if there is such a thing.
there is no such thing.
Be watched for the first year and the second, but once they establish themselves, they're not going to be attractive for the deer.
Okay, and as a condition of approval, we often add as a standard condition that all new plantings would meet a survivability minimum of 1 year. Thank you.
Any other comments,
Through
questions?
through the chair.
Go ahead, Carmine.
It's regarding the pool. Do you know the type of filtration that's going to be used on that?
It's
And
going to
the,
be a
spa?
cartridge filter.
It's a cartridge?
Yeah.
And we do have another set of call them rules for the as in regards to the pool. The main one is that if it is ever emptied, the water needs to be trucked off site and not dumped into the wetland area.
Yes.
That's going to be made part of an approval.
Yep, it will be done. Any other comments? Tatiana and John Mayer. Do you have any conditions if we if I make a motion to approve as submitted?
Well, I can't think of any at the moment.
All right, very good. Greg, need a motion to approve as submitted with?
Yep. Make a motion to approve application 2608. Permit approval for an in-ground pool with a spa, pool terrace, pool equipment pad, and stormwater detention system within a regulated area at 112 Hilltop Drive. In accordance with the following conditions from the Town of Trumbull Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission, Section 1, General Conditions 1.1 to 1.10. Section 2, Site-Specific Conditions for Approval. 2.9, which is all new plantings shall have a survivability period of 1 year minimum as determined by the town engineer. And then section 2 for pools, which is 2.14 and 2.17. And I'm adding some additional conditions just to clarify what we discussed. 3.1, the pool contractor needs to acknowledge the IWWC permit by signing a confirmation letter. Engineering now has a confirmation form letter that they can sign and email that back to Trumbull Engineering before commencement work. 3.2, existing stockpile of leaves, dirt, brush, garden debris needs to be removed from the wetlands area near flags 27, 24, and 27 by the bridge, and over by the flags 30 and 29. And final 3.3, Alexandra, I'm assuming you're the consultant on this project, but we're going to look for you to confirm that the project and all landscape plantings are completed and installed as approved by the Trumbull IWWC permit. At the end of the project and before a CO is issued, the applicant consultant should return to the Trumbull Engineering Department a print set with their stamp certifying that the project was completed according to the approved plans. That's all I have.
Okay, have we missed anything? Anything else? All right, I need a second. If you can remove that from the screen.
I got it.
Okay, it's seconded by Rich. Very good. All in favor? I'm a yes. Bob?
I'm a yes.
Yes. Carmine?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Rich?
Yes.
And myself, I'm a yes. All right, unanimous. Very good.
Just before Alexandra goes, I have just a curious question. I noticed the root cellar. Is that being used or is it just abandoned?
I'm
It
not
was
sure.
built-
I can't
It was
really
built
answer.
into this. It was built into the side of the hill
I'm not sure. Really don't.
behind the cottage.
Yeah.
Would you like me to investigate it?
No, that's all right.
I don't live in that house, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
Like I said, it
timeout
was
for
more,
the husband.
it was more
Carmine,
curiosity.
let's move. So, all right.
Thank
let's
you.
see. Very good. Good luck.
Right.
Okay, we're going to application 26-10. Howdos, I believe, Properties LLC, permit approval to build a single-family residence within a regulated area at 33 Broadway. Tatiana, while we're waiting, I don't know if we'll have anybody on this, but your comments? And John, actually, John's handling this, I believe.
I'm trying to promote a person who I thought was handling it, but they are declining it, so
All right.
I'm not sure.
In the interim, John Mayer, you want to give us a rundown?
Sure. The only minor comment we have is a slight modification to the storm drainage system. We would want to see some kind of collection of stormwater runoff at the bottom of the driveway.
So that could be made a condition of approval?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? We're good?
And just to clarify, I believe the planting plan that was submitted, it does show 3 trees to be removed, but we have discussed it with the applicant because the trees are not on the subject property. We're not able to proceed with those.
All right. David, did you get a chance to check the planting plan?
It's not included in the packet. Where was that?
It was mailed today.
It was
Email.
mailed today.
It was emailed and we were asked to print out on an 11 by 17 sheet, which I don't have.
And if you look at it on your computer, it's not that legible either.
I can't open it up. It doesn't open up on mine.
Okay, I think what we're going to do from this point on, it's got to be the plans as we are requesting. Otherwise, we'll table it and we'll move to the next meeting. Do you have anything, John, that you can put on the screen? Because I was hoping to
Are we
move
going
on
to
this,
discuss
but
this
if we
today?
don't, we'll table it. Well, right now, if
I
we don't
had
have
a lot of
anything.
issues with this, Richard.
All right, well, let's do this. Wait till let's get the proper plan. We'll table it and we'll discuss it at the June 2nd meeting.
Who was the agent that approved this to start with? Did you approve this,
John.
Tatiana?
Was me.
Are you our agent for the wetlands? I thought Tatiana was. So how did this get approved? Because I think this is a disaster. I don't like anything about this. I know what the elevation of that lot was, and I know what it is now. We can see they took the whole hill down on the side there, and they put it up against the stream. All those boulders are near the waterhead over there, or they weren't there before. And the water detention system is right on the slope going into the stream itself. I don't see how that's going to work properly either, but I have nothing else to say until we get somebody from this application to speak, but I definitely have some issues with it.
I just promoted a person named Wayne. Hopefully they can chime in.
Yes. Wayne DeVanzo, Fairfield County Engineering. I'm here just to speak on the engineering. I don't know, there was supposed to be somebody here to present the project. Just thought I'd speak up in case there were any questions regarding the drainage itself, or anything else I might be able to answer just coincidentally. But
John, are you happy with, meaning John Mayer, are you happy with the drainage as was shown?
With that minor modification condition of some kind of collection at the bottom of the driveway so that it's not running into the street.
All right, I think from what I'm hearing, I think what we're gonna do is table this until we can get a, actual planting plan and, somebody that I thought the gentleman was, that owns the
Richard,
property was gonna be
Through
here.
the
Go
chair,
ahead.
last month I requested that we get a map that shows the change in elevation prior to this,
Yep.
and I haven't seen that information. You see
Okay.
that giant slope that's next to the driveway there? That
Yep.
wasn't there. It was all flat before. And if you pulled into that driveway on a nicey day, I would be afraid that the car might slip and go into the river. And do you see how deep those trees are buried? Come on.
Yep.
There's some things that never should have happened here. And I want to get the answers to some of these things.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Rich.
Mr. Loria, John, the question is, if they're going based on a simple approval, and we, we're getting submissions. This has been an issue numerous times where we get a submission at the last moment, both here and in the other commission. We can't possibly read it.
The foundation's already in.
But I mean, the maps are being, the plans are being submitted so late. It's
We didn't even get to look at this thing. It was already put in.
Right.
Now this thing was subdivided. Was that part of your zoning?
I'd have to look. I don't remember offhand.
Do you guys even go out and look at this thing to know that you're going to take down a side of a hill?
P&Z does not do site walks.
So they approved this to be a new lot based on not even going out and looking at it.
Again, I don't remember the specific application. Mr.
What's going to happen when that hill of dirt behind? I know it's not a wetlands issue, or maybe it still is. Comes down on the new house. You see the boulders are sticking out of the side of the hill. Well, those were all planted along the stream down there, near the head wall. You can see those rocks still there.
Is that head wall at risk of failing?
No. But now we probably also altered the flood zone. We have, because all the topography in that area is completely changed.
All right.
Okay.
I remember in the last meeting, you did ask for topography. When I was on the walk, I did mention to the owner that he should get a comprehensive planting plan in. I didn't expect it to be, coming today. And as I said, in the future, they've got to comply. Otherwise, we'll table it and we'll move to the next meeting. And I don't like being punitive to people, but go ahead.
Well, how do
Greg.
we protect the stream now?
I also have a question as to whether or not those boulders are on this property or whether it's on the next property where the stream is. It appears that it's off property. And if so, did they get permission to put them there, and how are they stabilizing that whole thing?
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Tatiana.
not to speak for the applicant, but we have asked during our sidewalk about those boulders, and the applicant stated that he was not the one placing them there. They were there before they started work, just quoting them. And then I also have the planting plan on my screen if you'd like me to share, if you feel that'll be helpful.
Well,
without a definition of the flood zone.
What are your thoughts? We always rely upon Bob and David to give us the.
I haven't seen the planting plan.
All right, so
I think it would be. I'm kind of tired of getting information at 5 o'clock in the afternoon of the day of the meeting and saying, "Okay, is this good? Can we approve it?" Applicants need to get the information in on a timely fashion, which is what it says in our application packets.
Tatiana, if you remember, I had trouble opening that one. Remember, I called you and I said, did the applicant submit a planting plan? And again, what we'll do is ask them to do a regular, decent size, get it out to the commission. We'll table this until June 2nd meeting.
Can we put elevations on that planting plan as well?
What was that, John?
Could we have some elevations on that planting plan as well?
That's what I'm saying. You want
You're going to
a
be planning on a
topography?
very steep slope.
All right. So you have that, right, Tatiana? Topography, actual planting plan, anything else from the commission?
As he mentioned, those trees seem to have been buried, that are right along the stream. And,
Are they,
you know,
Tatiana, are they showing on his property? Because I did tell him, I said, those trees will not survive because they've got to have 2 or 3 feet of soil that was put over them.
Right, during the sidewalk, we had discussed those trees and they've added them, marked them trees to be removed. But according to the survey, the trees are not on the subject property. So they're not theirs. They can't remove them.
Through the
And
chair.
yet the soil from them is covering up somebody else's trees then.
Correct.
So should there have been a retaining wall there instead?
So, sorry, the applicant just emailed us. She's saying she's in the meeting. Why can't I talk? We're trying to promote you. You have to accept. It says Veronica declined to be promoted to panelist. So maybe try rejoining because I have to accept to be promoted.
At
Tatiana,
this point, I
quick question.
think there's enough that we'd like to get to study, and we'll address it in our next meeting.
And
Through the
Is
chair.
everyone fine with that?
through
Go ahead,
the
Rich.
chair,
Oh, go ahead, Carmine.
going back to Tatiana's statement, the applicant is saying they didn't place those boulders there, then where did they come from? Because they were not there, they don't seem to have been there long. There's,
I lived in that
you know,
area and I never
there's
noticed them
indication
before.
that they were recently unearthed. So they haven't been there that long.
Oh, there we go. I believe the applicant just joined, so it may be helpful if she can at least answer some of the questions.
Hi,
Okay,
good night. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was in the meeting since the beginning. I'm not
Excuse
sure
me,
what
Veronica, you
happened.
have to identify yourself and give your address, please.
I'm Veronica Ventrasky. I'm here in name of Rhode Island Machado, 433 Broadway.
Okay, in the interim, a couple of things came up. The trees that are buried with soil, they're not on your property, is that correct?
Yes, can I please share my screen? We have all the presentation that I can
Sure.
show all the details, please. I apologize for miscommunication here. I was in the meeting since the beginning. I'm not sure what happened. If I could please share my screen, I can
Go
show
ahead.
everything. There is no option here.
Bill.
You should be able to share your screen.
Ask Bill.
Built in. I don't know if he can hear us. Bill,
Mr. Chin.
we need your help.
Yeah, what's up?
The applicant is trying to share her screen and she says there is no.
Yeah, the applicant is not in the meeting as a panelist and cannot share their screen. So we've tried to allow her to be a panelist and it keeps saying decline to be promoted as panelist.
All right.
She's not a panelist, she can't share.
Okay, I think
Okay, I believe that Wayne is in the meeting as well. He was talking before. He has just 1 minute. It's loading here. I believe now I can. Can you see my screen now?
That's following Rich Deacon.
Why is there a Rich Deacon whiteboard on there?
Stop that, Rich.
Right.
Why
Okay,
is
I'm
Rich
gonna make,
Deacon-
I'm making a decision here. You have to get your actual plans into the office and full size that we can see, and they've got to be not the day of the meeting. We'd like to get them within the next week or so. I'm going to table this until the next meeting. We'd like to see a topography plan. We'd like to see, I'm going to walk this again, your sight line for the property as to where those 3 trees that are buried. Let me see, like I said, an actual planting plan going through the commission. Anything else?
Well,
Greg, I see your hand
engineering,
up.
Errors with the,
I'm sorry.
Pardon?
were there substantial errors with the survey? I mean, how do we not know where the line is?
I don't know. When we walked, I didn't see it. So what I'm saying, stake it so that we can see from the front of the property to the back and sight it to see where those trees are. Because evidently they buried somebody else's trees. Anything else that the commission
Chair?
wants?
Yes, this
Yeah.
Go ahead,
topography,
John.
this topography, we don't want to just see just the current topography. We want to see pre-construction topography as well, just to be clear about that.
Okay, do you have that, Greg? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear all of it.
Pre and post topography, right? Before construction and after construction.
Okay.
Do you want the
Thank
cut
you.
and fill totals then, John? Do you,
I
do you
don't know.
want, do you want cut and fill totals, yardage?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
that should
should
be
be able to
clarified, right?
calculate that.
Oh, we had other applications where they didn't state it clearly. That's why I suggested it.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, with all due respect, we have applied for the regular permit for this property a while ago. We granted the foundation permit and also the retaining wall permit. We also started the foundation permit. We have dropped off all the information. It was necessary from the previous meeting, so we have. Unfortunately, I can't share my screen, but we have the before and after photos, aerial photos. We have the before and now topography plans as well. We have the drainage system for the house, the property, and also for the retaining wall. We made the walkthrough through the lot. Everybody was there. We mentioned about 3 existing trees that we are planning to remove. It's not located on our site. That's the reason why it's not included in the application. So we would like to move forward with the construction as well, because we are spending 3 months only with applications. We're not sure what happened because we always do all the necessary requirements to get all the permits through the town of Trumbull. We have built more than 6-7 properties in the past few years. We never have an issue with that. And we would like everybody, if we could collaborate and everybody works together to get approval is what we're willing for. Now, we as I said, we have sent all the necessary documents. Also, the planting plan that was requested during the walkthrough. It was the size that the landscaper made. It was 11 by 17. That's why we have the one. So I would like to know what we could do to speed up the process besides what we just spoke.
The issue is things came in today, did not give us a chance to review anything. That's why we'll address all of this and we will handle it in our next meeting on June 2nd. Anything else from the commission?
I was going to say through the chair, engineering is asking for a stormwater collection at the bottom of the.
We already have in the plans as well.
Yeah, that should be added to the plan.
That it is in the plans already for the house and for the retaining wall, for both.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Rich.
There was mention of a changing of the flood zone line. Are we recalculating where that flood zone is? Due to the flawed survey.
Was that ever submitted, John Mayer?
What change in the flood zone?
The change, the survey was flawed and there were changes, and I believe it was John that's, or perhaps Karen, I think it was
You
John.
raised the whole property line where the flood zone was. How can it be flood zone anymore? It's a hill there now.
Well, it has to be remeasured. I mean, if it's listed as a flood zone, then it no longer exists. I mean, that has to be modified. We can't leave a pre-existing condition of that magnitude. I mean, this affects flood insurance affects a whole bunch of things. It has to be
To-
modified. It can't just be left
Flood
as
zone
a.
could have moved into Trumbull Pizza right now. I'm not kidding. I'm serious with what I just said.
To the chair,
Right.
the pre-existing conditions, the flood zone was not a concern. The house, the foundation, based on pre-existing conditions, was outside of the flood zone.
Okay. All right, so, let's
Did you
see.
raise the ground where the flood zone is now, though?
But the survey was. I just feel like we're working with incomplete information.
What we will do is next meeting, we will have it all so we can put it on the screen. We'll get everything, early so that we can review this and not, have the, disaster we've got going tonight. So, all right. With that said, I'm going to, ask for a motion to close old business.
Would we need a motion to continue first?
I think we need a motion to continue this
Oh, wait a
application
minute,
till
wait a
the
minute, wait a
next.
minute. I know, thank you, Rich. Yeah, we'll need a continuation on 2610. Thank you, Rich.
So moved.
Greg?
I make a motion to continue application 2610, permanent approval to build a single family residence within a regulated area at 33 Broadway.
Is Greg going to add
Seconded
the? I'll second. I just want to confirm. Does Greg need to add the reasons, or are they already made aware?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, like a list of what we want from them.
That could be repeated. Yes.
Engineering will get that out to them. I need a second.
I'll second.
Seconded, okay, by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're all unanimous on it. All right, I'm going to skip over for a quick moment. Under other business, did you all get a copy of the contractor application?
Yes.
Okay. According to Attorney Cordone, we just need to make a motion of approval that this can be added to our application. So, and it's something that we talked about, this back, I think it was 2020, if I remember. So, Greg, can you make a motion for me?
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the Trumbull IWWC contractor approval.
It's compliance form, actually. It's called contractor compliance form.
Contractor compliance form.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Bob. Everyone's in favor?
Yeah, just a quick question, Mr. Chairman. I support it. I'm in favor. I just there's no. Again, we don't want to be punitive, but is there a fine structure based on this? It just says they'll promise to do so, and if they fail, what happens? Should we be clarifying that?
Well, I'm going to go to Attorney Cordone because I don't think we have the ability to find the contractor, only the homeowner. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong, Mr. Chairman. You're never wrong. You got it
Can
right.
you write that down and
I can
tell
put
my
that
wife?
down for you.
I'd appreciate that.
This is meant to protect the homeowner, the property owner, so that the contractors are aware of the permits and that they comply with the requirements. So it's really intended to protect the homeowner, not to be an additional burden, and there would not be a penalty to the contractor, no.
And it also hopefully helps us in that they're looking at this, and when we talk to them, they can't say, well, gee, I didn't see this, I didn't see that. So hopefully it's there. All right,
Real
so
quick
that's
question.
been accepted.
Quick question.
Greg, go ahead, John.
Contractor license number, is that a home improvement license number? And do you have to have a contractor's license to do this type of work?
Oh, it depends if they're doing a house, if they're doing landscaping, there's different licenses there, so. Would apply to whatever, the project.
That could be
is
an
that
NA
done.
in some cases, I would think,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greg, hate to take you out of your thing there, but the minutes for April 7th.
Did we vote on that? I
2026.
don't know. Excuse me, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman. We did?
Yeah, we
I
did.
apologize.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
confused enough. Don't add to it. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion for the minutes from the last meeting, right?
Yep, April 7th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the Town of Trumbull Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission meeting held on April 7th, 2026.
Need a second. Okay,
I'll second.
seconded by Carmine. All in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, on walking, Tatiana and John Mayer. May 18th, which is a Monday, is that good?
1 second. Let me get to my calendar.
Yes, that works for me.
All right, May 18th. Yes, works for me too.
Okay, and I think we may do a walk by again on Broadway with that walk. So that would be for application 2611, 2612, 2615, 2616. Anything else, Colleen? We have anything else needs to come before the
What
commission?
time is
We're
the
good?
walk? What time is the walk?
It's going to be long, so I know. Do you want to do 2:30? Are you good with 2, John and Tatiana?
I'm good with 2.
Yep.
All right, we'll do it.
Mr. Chairman, do you need the report?
I'm coming to you. Lastly, but not least, anything from P&Z from our liaison, Rich Deacon.
Yes, sir. The application was approved on April 22nd. This would have been 2605 CT Trumbull Village LLC, better known as the corner of Booth Hill and Unity. That was the Village Residence District. No actual construction application has been received, but the Village Residence District does now include that property. It passed on a 3-2 vote. It's a matter of public record that I voted against it. It now allows certain types of development to go into that zone, which would have to be applied to a specific property, namely Booth Hill and Unity. There are, of course, wetlands on that property, which is why it's relevant to us. So should they continue to move forward with that potential application, they'd have to come before wetlands to be approved. They then have to go through the process of planning and zoning of applying that zone, that village residence district type of overlay zone to that property. And then if they had wetlands approval, could go forward with a site plan approval at the P&Z level. So there are various steps that still would need to be taken should they continue. I urge you to read the minutes for more information.
All right.
Is this an
Rich, I've
830G?
Go ahead, Bob. You have a comment?
Yes, is this an 830G? Mr. Gordon?
No, it would be 80% age restricted, 20% non-age restricted. That is permissible. It should they come forward, that would be permissible under our regulations and under state law. It would not be deemed affordable housing.
Would not be an 830G.
No, sir.
Carmine?
Chair. Rich,
Yep.
I've got a question. Right now, it's, I forget, 5 or 6 parcels. When they come to before us, don't they have to join those parcels to meet the regulation of the village district?
There's a certain size of the parcel. Mr. Cordon can correct me. I believe it has to be over 10 acres and under 15. If there were parcels that had to be joined, that would require some type of further P&Z action. I defer to council just to
But
get.
wouldn't that have to be done before they proceed any farther? Because the village district regulation states a minimum size. You can't come through, in my opinion, with 5 different parcels totaling that area. It should be one parcel.
These are all questions that would be dealt with at the P&Z level. As much as I'd love to give you a clear-cut answer, I'd be deferring to council because it is an unusual application. It would be an unusual application because it's under a new overlay. I'd have to get back to you on the combination of lots.
Attorney Cordon, does assemblage have to be done pursuant to Carmine to.
Yes, but it
bring
would be
this-
they'd be submitting a new application to a new map to merge the lots. So that then the zone would be applied to one lot at that time.
And it'd be under one entity then.
But that would have to be done prior to coming before wetlands.
No, sir. It would be done Actually, wetlands has to be done first, and then it would go to planning and zoning. So if they were to be
Yeah, but
denied in wetlands, the lots would not necessarily be merged.
If it's denied at wetlands, they'd have no reason to move forward with the merge because it wouldn't make any sense.
Potentially.
But if they're coming before wetlands as the village district regulation, that has a stipulation of a certain minimum size.
Commissioner DeFay, I'd be happy to discuss this with you more if you want to give me a call to
Okay.
go through the details. The process would have to be approved by zoning, but oftentimes wetlands is the first stop before any maps are approved or any lots are merged or any site plan is finalized. So that is the first step, which come before you, whether the lots were merged yet or not. But please give me a call. We could talk about it further.
Okay.
All right, so we're good. Anything else? If there be no objection, I move to adjourn and I thank you all. I will see you either on the walk or all of you on June 2nd.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
Mr. Chen.